So welcome, Sensei Alex Stephens. I would love to hear more about your studio. What is the vision, the mission? Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on here?
Absolutely. So my name is Alex Stephens. I am the sensei and owner of Reverence Karate-Do Institute. We're located here in Eugene, Oregon. And I serve the adaptive community. And the adaptive community is anybody that adapts to the world around them in some way, shape, or form. And so some of the people that I have worked with within the adaptive community are autism, Down syndrome. I work with limb loss, amputees, whether they've lost a limb in life or maybe perhaps born with limb loss, people with crutches and wheelchairs. So lots of different people that can utilize the principles within karate to help them adapt to the world around them.
Great. And what are some of those principles that apply from the principles and teachings of karate?
Absolutely. So I'll take the autistic community, for example. And again, every person is unique, right? So I create a personal karate plan to help that specific person. So let's say this person who has autism has some difficulties communicating with other people. Well, we know that with autism, sometimes they can be nonverbal. But that doesn't mean that they don't communicate at all, right? They use nonverbal communication to express themselves. This body language, facial expressions, grunts and groans, and somehow they need to communicate. And so with the autistic community, and especially those who are nonverbal or have limited verbal skills, we are using karate to help enforce that communication or make it more effective, right? So we're learning appropriate times to use loud language, or how to use some sign language to help communicate with them, or when should I be looking at the person? When is it okay to look away? And so a lot of what karate is nonverbal communication. So we're using that concept of that is within karate, more of the self-defense part of karate, to help those communicate nonverbally. So for somebody with limb loss, let's say they're missing a leg, the karate principles of balance and center and strength training and things like that, they're helping those people in a very different way, but it's still using the tool of karate to help them adapt to the world around them.
And what made you want to serve this community, and how did this idea come about?
Yeah, so there was as I was learning, or on my path of karate, I was learning from a gentleman named Jerry Piddington. And Jerry Piddington is the founder of the American Karate Academies National Association, our organization, and his dojo was in Ashland, Oregon. And so I was a student there in Ashland, Oregon, and part of the curriculum is teaching or learning to serve others. And so one day Mr. Piddington had a young man that needed some extra help, and he didn't share with me much more about him, only that I was going to spend some one-on-one time with him and teach him karate. And so long story short, it turned out that this young man did have autism, and it was such a profound experience that I quit my job at a doctor's office and began working in the school system, working with special needs. And I just loved it. And so I created that passion of working with the special needs community within the school system, and merged it with my passion for karate. And I began a program, the Adaptive Karate Program in Ashland, Oregon.
I'm curious to learn more about what happened in that session. What changed for you, or what was the light bulb moment for you?
Yeah, so again, like those communication skills that sometimes are linked with autism. He was able to speak, but finding the words that were appropriate were difficult for him. Difficulty in asking questions or responding to questions, things like that. And so I didn't know this at first when I began teaching. And so I found myself problem solving, which I thought was kind of fun. Okay, so we're having some sort of communication breakdown. How can I communicate with this person to give the proper message? And so the lesson started off kind of rough. and it was difficult. But by the end of the lesson, somehow we connected. And it went from kind of rude and kind of snappy at first to respectful and thankful and all of these different things. And so it felt like I made a difference. And that's what we're trying to achieve as teachers, is to make a positive change or a difference in that person's life. And it felt like I did. And something down inside me thought, this is what I need to be doing. That was really cool. I felt good being able to help this other person, which is really what karate is about, being able to serve others. And just the feeling that I got from helping this young individual made me want to change my entire life's course and begin helping the adaptive community.
Wonderful. And what is the future? What do you see the vision and the service that you're offering? What kind of impact do you hope to make in the community and around?
I want to help others help themselves. And karate is the tool to do that. Again, there's so many things that are within karate that can help so many different kinds of people. And just I want to give people that empowerment to be able to help themselves when maybe they think they couldn't do that or they weren't able to do that. They can. And I want to be able to help them do that. And so, bringing families closer together because now they're understanding that maybe my child is capable of so much more than I had previously thought. Or, helping that person with mobility issues learn that they can, do whatever it is that they want to do, and they are not setting limits on themselves. They're raising that bar so that they can feel good about the life that they're living. And I want to be able to help people do that. And I've seen time and time again where karate was the perfect tool to help those people do that. So again, karate is serving people, and that's my life's mission, is to serve others so that they don't need to be served by anybody. Yeah.
Wonderful. What would you say are some of the biggest obstacles or challenges or kind of objections people might have, or preconceptions perhaps, that would stop them from trying this out?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of TV shows and things like that portray karate as violent, and it's not. Karate is finding the skills to avoid violence. Karate is more about perfection of character, or rather seeking perfection, knowing that we'll never be perfect, right? There's no end in getting better, and we call that kaizen. Repeat the question for me one more time, please.
That's okay. What are some more preconceptions or obstacles people might have?
Yeah. So people thinking that karate is violent, it's all about punching and kicking and hurting somebody. Again, it's about avoiding that violence and learning the skills, or maybe the communication skills, or the confidence that's that may be a deterrent to those that would seek you out as a victim. Karate is how we treat people and how we treat ourselves, and that's what karate is, right? So people think, I'll never be able to do karate. It's too physically active, or I'll never be able to understand karate, or I don't want to be engaged in that kind of violence. And so those who think that's what karate is, I want to be able to show them that it's not that. It's about finding peace, finding a peaceful resolution in things, keeping our body healthy, keeping our mind healthy, challenging ourselves and overcoming those challenges, and recognizing that we're able to do some great things, and again, not setting limits to ourselves. So breaking down those barriers, karate is not violence at all.
Yeah. I'm curious to know if you shared about that story of the first student that really sparked your interest in combining these two aspects. Are there any students that come to mind recently, an experience or something that happened that you'd like to share with us as well?
Absolutely. So I have a young man who's on the spectrum, so he does have autism, and we were really working on his communication skills, eye contact, appropriate things to say at the appropriate times and things like that. And so when he first came to me, his verbal skills were pretty limited. They were one-word answers, or maybe a grunt or a groan or a shrug or something like that. And so we began using karate as a tool to help him communicate better, so that he can tell people what he needs, and he can understand the difference between needs and wants. So he's been with me for almost a year now, and we've gone from one-word answers to two-word answers, to three-word answers, to full sentences, and full sentences that apply to the conversation, and being able to start that conversation, and not only starting a conversation, but maintaining that conversation. So this young man who had all of these thoughts and emotions that he wanted to share that he wasn't able to, and now he can. He's got a part-time job, and he's learning to be more independent. And his relationship with his family has increased because he's able to share how he's feeling and what he needs and what he wants. And vice versa, his parents are able to share with him more appropriately all of those things. And karate was the tool to do that.
And I also understand you work with people with Parkinson's. How does karate and the work you do help folks with Parkinson's?
Absolutely. So with Parkinson's, a common thing that happens, I call it the Netflix buffering loop. Whereas they have a cue, they want to move this way, and their brain is telling their body to move, but there's a pause, right? And sometimes it takes some time to get the body moving, or even words, right? So we call them freezing or shuffle steps. So karate is helping them making their movements more deliberate. And recognizing certain situations where they do freeze or do pause, and how to overcome those things, right? And recognizing that we can delay the onset of these symptoms by keeping active and doing certain movements that are associated with words and movements that are crossing the body to help them, keep that quality of life that they want to maintain, and not allowing Parkinson's to completely take over and stop doing the things that they love. So karate, again, is not used as violence, but rather strength training and balance exercises and speech linked with movement that can delay those onsets that Parkinson's can bring with those people. And so we have the Parkinson's program. And it's about being part of something with other people of similar situations, and supporting those people, and keeping the body and the brain active to help combat the onset of the symptoms of Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody is interested in trying out a class, working with you, what kind of services do you offer?
Yeah, so I always offer a free consultation. Karate can be for everybody, but I want to break down those barriers. I can't do karate because I'm missing my arm, or my son can't do karate because he doesn't communicate well, or whatever else. I want to offer that free consultation to get the family in here, to show them that the concepts within karate can certainly help anybody and everybody. So you can reach me through reverencekarate.com. Email reverencekarate@gmail.com. Our phone number is 458-205-5772. You can call me directly. Get that free consultation set up, and come up with that personal karate plan for you or your loved ones to see how we can help enrich your lives.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.